Hey everybody, we're back for a rare episode of Tatooine Times. We've always said for a long time we're not a news channel. We don't cover the latest and greatest Star Wars news, but periodically we do like to sit down and talk about some of the upcoming events and upcoming shows and things like that. So we're just going to go over a few of those things now as we're fast approaching Star Wars Day coming up next week. We just wanted to talk about not only some things coming up on that day, but some things coming up in the near future and over basically the next couple of years. First of all, I'm actually going to turn it over to Greedo, who's got some video game news with a couple of updates there.
Yeah, well, I was just going to point out that Amazon Prime, if you're a Prime member, they have free games every month that they cycle through, and one of the free games for May, to honor May the 4th and all that, is the Rogue Squadron 3D original game. I think it's from the early 2000s. One of those first games where you get to fly a snow speeder and attack walkers and things like
Nice.
that on different Rogue Squadron missions. And that was a great game for its time, and I'm definitely going to check it out. And of course, I believe the release date was a couple of days ago, but you've got the new Jedi Star Wars Jedi Survivor game,
Hmm.
which you know that's huge. I haven't heard reviews or anything of it yet, but it's supposed to be out now or anytime now.
Yeah, they had some pretty
And
extensive coverage of it at Celebration last month.
yeah, I watched that stuff at Celebration. It was great, and
Yeah,
it looks like the first game was really great to play. It was like a big comeback for Star Wars video games, and
yeah, I heard a lot of really big reviews on that. Said it was really
yeah,
good.
I didn't play it all the way through, but I played quite a bit of it and
Never
spent
played it.
way too many hours trying to figure out how to beat the Rancor on the one planet. It was freaking impossible, uh, but yeah, that's supposed to be out, and I would be very shocked if it got bad reviews or anything. So, but I will probably check that out at some point. I don't know if the PC version is released yet or not, but um, I'll let you guys
Yeah,
know what I think
from
of
what I
it when I.
understand, they've got a pretty interesting story that intertwines through that game to the point that the fans of the game are kind of clamoring for a film or a series
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
based on the story behind the game.
Cool.
Yeah, the Cal Kestis character is extremely popular, and this goes all the way back to like Star Killer, and there's always been some video game characters that have
Right, kind of stand out.
outlived the games,
Hmm.
yeah, and become more
Yeah,
popular. And I'm sure they've worked some into the different animated and live action stuff before, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if this is a huge hit, which it should be,
hmm,
that they turn it into some kind of live action property, because even a movie or
yeah.
something.
Now,
um,
when you and I went to Galaxy's Edge back in the fall, didn't when we were in the store, didn't they have Cal Kestis' saber?
yes,
Don't they? Yeah, so they actually sell the
yeah,
physical saber like it's
yeah,
represented in the game. So that's kind of cool too.
yeah. One of the cool things about the game is you can modify everything.
Oh, okay.
So I think his saber, I mean, you can modify it as you go along and all kinds of
Hmm.
different stuff in his equipment and everything like that. So um, I'm not exactly sure which version of the saber they were showing, but but that's one of the
Right.
cool things about the game is all the modifications, and the droid in the game is really cool too.
Hmm.
Star Wars has that knack for coming up with the cool droids every so
Wonderful
often. That
droids.
Yeah, and it's a great droid in the game. So,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
the creative way they work the droid in is started with the same kind of droid in Battlefront 2 with the Imperial character. She had
Hmm.
a backpack droid an Imperial droid that would help her. This is kind of an evolution of that, and very cool stuff. But
Nice. Very
Cool.
cool. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to Gundark. And she's going to give us an update on some Star Wars Day events that are coming up.
Yeah, we have coming up this week. We're filming right at the end of April today,
Hmm.
and May the 4th is coming up this week, and we have Carrie Fisher getting her star finally on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on
About
Thursday. That's
time. About
wonderful.
time.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it will be. I believe they will live stream the ceremony on the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences website. It's supposed to start at 11:30 Pacific time, I think,
Okay.
and run about 45 minutes. So I'm hoping maybe, I know that Billy Lord, her daughter, is supposed to receive the honor in her place, and I'm hoping that maybe Mark Hamill, maybe even Harrison Ford might be there.
That's what I'm kind of hoping to. I'd love to see them. I'm sure Mark will be there because he tends to kind of do a lot of these things, but it would be great to see if Harrison made it.
Yeah, so that'll be coming up on May 4th. And then also this month is the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. And in honor of that, on the same day, the Academy will be showing Return of the Jedi that evening at their theater. And I think they're going to have book signings by Paul Hirsch and Howard Kazanjian, editor in Star Wars and producer of Star Wars films. I don't know if they're going to give a talk or anything, but I think they do book signings before the screening of the film. We had thought about trying to get there and go to the events, but we just couldn't work out we couldn't work out the logistics of it. But it sounds like it's going to be a really fun day for May 4th Star Wars events that day.
Yeah, absolutely. And one other note too, keep an eye out. We will be having our own tribute to Carrie Fisher coming up. Just a brief video that we're going to do that we're going to put up probably on that day. So be watching for that.
I did have something I wanted to add real quick. Shows that I've been working too much and playing games not enough. I was just Googling about Jedi Survivor, and evidently the launch day was a complete disaster.
Really?
So, I was saying that it'd be unlikely to get bad reviews, but evidently the bugs and that they released it before. I mean, this seems to be a common thing with games these days. Is they release it and figure they'll fix everything later. But what a disappointment to see that happen to this game. But there was a patch released. The game came out on the 20th. There was a patch released a couple days later, which would be around now. And supposedly a lot of the frame rate droppage and lag and issues that are bugs in the game are much, much better, but it still needs more patches and stuff. So everything I saw real quick about the game is that the story, the gameplay and all that stuff is great, but the game needed a patch. It needed to stay in the oven a little bit longer.
Bug fixes before it was released.
There's some issues with when cutscenes play after that. The frame rate drops like crazy when there's some bad bugs. So I guess it's a buyer beware cut type situation.
Yeah.
Maybe check out and see if the issues have really been patched or not before you get too involved. This is kind of common sense with games these days. Unfortunately, they want you to pre-order and invest, and so they get your money in advance, and you get some nice little perks out of it. But then when you get the game, it's not ready to go.
It's not ready to go.
It's very frustrating. Yeah. So anyway, just wanted to mention that I was a little behind on the news. I just can't believe it, but
wow.
That's why I usually games I usually kind of get them later anyway. So I don't a lot of times experience all that stuff unless they have the game is just a disaster and they've given up on trying to patch it. But sounds like it's a great game. Just maybe wait a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, we had to wait 2 years between movies originally, so 2.5 years. Yeah. So
that was common for us back then.
You can wait a couple of weeks till they patch it.
Right. Exactly.
But that's embarrassing for LucasArts or whoever's doing the games now.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap up here with talking about a few of the upcoming TV shows that are on the horizon. First, we've got Star Wars Visions Volume 2 that is actually released on Star Wars Day, along with Young Jedi Adventures, and that's going to be on, of course, Visions will be on Disney Plus. Young Jedi Adventures is also on Disney Plus, as well as Disney Junior. Then we've got, I'm really looking forward to Visions Season 2 or Volume 2, because I really enjoyed Volume 1. Just some really, really interesting takes on the Star Wars universe there. And in August, of course, everybody's you've got the long-awaited Ahsoka series finally hitting our screens on Disney Plus in August. Don't have an exact date in August, but it is August 2023. One final show for 2023, sometime in fall. I'm assuming after Ahsoka has its run, we'll get Skeleton Crew season 1, the show starring Jude Law, which is basically being billed as Goonies in space, apparently. So jury's out on that one. We'll see what we think of that when it happens.
Isn't Jude Law playing Captain Hook right now?
Yeah, I
In the
think
Peter
he is.
Pan thing?
Yeah. So that will also be on Disney Plus. And then next August 2024, Andor season 2. You know, that show that we have yet to talk about on this channel. We'll get to it eventually.
We promise.
We'll wait till the
We know
1 year
it.
anniversary.
Embarrassing.
And then how
How
embarrassing.
No, it's not reflective on the quality of the series either, that it just came at
No,
a time where
right,
we were
it's not at
unable
all.
to cover it.
Not at all reflective of our feelings on the show. Yeah, it just, like you said, it came out at a time when all of us were busy and we weren't really putting
Yeah.
out much content, and it was just hard to get it together at that point. So
Yeah.
anyway, but that's basically the sort of in a nutshell what's coming up. Of course, from
I've got one more thing
Celebration
to add real quick.
is for okay. One last thing I do want to mention is in Celebration last month, or earlier this month, I should say, they had 3 new movies announced as well. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
James Mangold project, Dave Filoni project, which supposedly is going to be like this sort of Avengers Endgame thing in the Star Wars universe, going to wrap up the whole Mandoverse thing at some point a few years down the road.
It'll be called Ultimate Side Quest.
The Ultimate Side Quest, exactly.
Din Djarin and the Ultimate Side Quest.
So what did you have, Greta?
I was just gonna say, The Machine, the movie with Mark Hamill, and it is coming out May 26th, I believe.
Oh,
that
wow.
weekend.
Okay.
It's going to be a completely different type of character that Mark's playing. So it's a very sophomore comedy type of thing. So
Nice.
yeah, but he plays the main character's father, and I'm sure it's going to be wild. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be great.
Cool.
Yeah, well, let us know in the comments what you're looking forward to, what you think of these. I'm sure you'll be looking for some poll questions. We'll be having those out as well about some of this upcoming content as well. So thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you again next time.